All right, you got it going? Okay, so now what we got to do is we have to put text on our buttons, okay? So you're not going to write each type of text. You're going to create one word, and then we're going to duplicate the layer and then edit the text to say what we want. So every effect will be exactly the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the text tool. First three buttons in just about every single website are going to be home, about, and contact. The other three from your 6 buttons you come up with that need to deal with your website. So we're just going to type home down here somewhere. So I'll type home. Might have to make this a little bit a different color. Yeah, because I couldn't see it. All right. Now, I don't know why that comes up, but I'm just going to highlight it, and I'm going to type home. All right. Now we can adjust everything we want. You always type it first, then go back and adjust everything in the options bar. So with my font, I'll find a font that I like. I'm not really fond of that. Whoop, gotta highlight it. Don't forget to highlight it. So maybe something like that, Apple Chancery. So we got the font we want. I will adjust the size of it because you gotta think it needs to fit on this button. So I'm gonna adjust that down a little bit. Maybe a little bit further than that. That should be good right there. And it'll be different for everybody's website because the button sizes are different. Do whatever works. And then we'll do whatever else we want to it. Maybe change the color because that's gonna be, maybe I'll do a blackish color because that'll show up good on that and that. All right, got that. And then if I wanted to warp it, I could, but most time with buttons, you don't want to warp your text because people need to see those clearly. It's okay for the title. So we're gonna leave that like that. The only other thing that we can do is we're going to want to put some effects on that. So let me see, where is layers at on here? I don't see your layers. Let me see. There we go. All right, there they are. All right, so if we look over here at what we have for layers, all right, there it is right there. All right, so we've got the home button of the home button text right there. I'm gonna right click over here, go to my blending options on that layer, and I'll adjust the effects to however I want them. Maybe put a little bit of a drop shadow on it and adjust that. And remember, you activate here by checking the box in front of it, and then go over to the actual words, click them, and then you can adjust all the attributes. So we'll change the distance just a little bit, and I may change the blend mode. No, that ain't what I'm looking for. Color burn. There we go, I like that. All right, now, get it just like you want it. I may adjust this a little bit. Some inner bevel, I'm gonna go to outer bevel. There we go, that's what I want. I like that. So I'm gonna click OK. Now, we've got that one button. So I'm not even gonna move it up here yet. I'm gonna duplicate that layer. So I'm gonna go to Layer, Duplicate Layer. And the reason you do this is I want all that text to have the same effects, be the same size, same font. But over here in the effects, I don't know exactly, I move sliders. I don't know the exact value of that. So the reason you duplicate the layer is it will duplicate everything that's in that layer. So let me spread this out. So if you look at what effects are on it, it just tells you it was bevel and emboss and drop shadow. It doesn't tell you all the values of those. So when I duplicate this, it will duplicate exactly what I did to that layer, and we want them all to look the same. So I'm gonna duplicate that layer, and it says home copy. So duplicate it, I've got it. I'm gonna hit the move tool. I'm gonna move it off. All right, now, we don't want 2 home buttons. We want the second button to be about. So while I'm on that home copy layer, I'm gonna go to the text tool. I'm gonna highlight this text, and remember, see that dotted line around the cursor? That's gonna create a new layer. If I just click out here, you gotta get right up beside the word, and that disappears. See where it disappears? Highlight it, and just type about. And it keeps exact same effects. Then I'm gonna duplicate that layer. So if you look now, this is a little trick in Photoshop. It won't let me duplicate the layer. It's because I'm still on the text tool. So The move tool is also called a home tool, even though it doesn't say that right there. So if I click that move tool and go back to layer, now duplicate layer becomes available to me. So I'm gonna duplicate that layer. Now it says about copy. And then I'm gonna drag that off, and the third button should be contact. So I gotta go back to the text tool, highlight my text, type contact. Whoop. Contact. All right, and then you would just keep doing that, and for the last 3 buttons that deal with your website. And don't tell us you don't know what to call it, because you can come up with 3 things that will be about your website. That's it for that part. So then what you would do